Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Flaminia and today I'm going to be sharing with you everything I knit in 2024. I am so excited, basic outfit, trying all of my knits on, giving you guys a brief review. And this year I also calculated the price of each item wherever I could do that. I'm so excited to share everything with you, so grab your knitting, grab something to do, a warm drink as we are in the winter, and just snuggle up. And I hope you enjoyed this video, but just let's get into it. First of all, I have some stats about my knitting and I'm going to just stand to the side because I did some graphs. I know, I love making this video. I just go crazy. And anyways, I think I completed, if my math is correct, around 31 projects this year. So I think it's 2 more than last year. I think last year it was 29. Oh, and yeah, this is my 3rd year in a row doing this type of yearly roundup, and I'll link the both previous years, the videos, down in the description box. So if you're curious to just see just an all-around review of my knitting, that's a good way to do it. So I think last year was 29 and this year's 31, but I think the distribution is quite interesting because 15 of the 31 projects are garments, and I think last year I knitted 20 garments, so 5 more garments, which is crazy. I knitted a ton last year, but I just don't have to chop up every year. Like, I'm starting to run out of storage, so that's good. And then I knitted a lot more accessories. I knitted 13 accessories. Then I actually crocheted 2 amigurumis. So that's going to be and not going to be in the final count, but it is in the final count. I crocheted 2 amigurumis and I finished 1 blanket, and that's exciting. Then the most used garment construction this year is very much controversially, for me, a raglan, because I think it's my least favorite to knit. But I guess that a lot of garments had that kind of construction, so I kind of had to live with it. So that's my most popular. Second most popular at the same place, circular yokes and shadow shoulders, which is quite interesting. My favorite one is drop shoulder, and it is at the second to last place with only 2 garments. And then I have 1 contiguous construction and 1 satin sleeve. So yeah, I feel like that's quite interesting. I mean, there are also some, like, I made a summer dress and I couldn't fit it into any of these categories, so I just didn't include it, but for the easily recognizable ones I did. So that's it. And then, oh god, the garment distribution is crazy because this year I made 8 sweaters and just 1 cardigan. And yeah, I feel like I focused a lot on what I figured out that I like the best. For example, I have 3 categories that are empty, but last year I actually made some stuff in those categories. I made 0 camisoles, 0 tees, and 0 vests. Cardigan, I made just 1, and it was a test knit. So I don't know. Okay, good, but I like cardigans, and I feel like they're more versatile for the climate I live in, so I should probably knit more. But last year I knit many. I think it was kind of 50-50, like a 1-to-1 ratio with the sweaters, which was really good. Then so 8 sweaters, 1 dress, that's a staple. I also made 1 dress last year. And I have 3 blouses and 1 baby knit, which is a new addition, and I'm so excited to knit more baby knits. So yeah, this is that. Then the most used colors, I think last year it was white, This year I only knit one white garment. I think like the most used colors are blue, green, and gray, and black. So we do like. And yeah, so I'm just going to try every garment on now, and like in kind of a chronological order from when I started it. And then I'm going to leave all the accessories to the end, at the end. So the most satisfying part, I forgot. The pile of the knits. And I also have another one. Last pile. Okay, let's get started. Okay, first garment I made. It was it's a gift knit. It's, I think, the only garment gift knit I made this year. And it's for my brother, and I knitted a bit here and there with my mom. We alternated each other. And I ended up gifting it for, how's it called? For Christmas, because he wanted it for his birthday, which is in 6 days. It's on the 20th of January. But he only said it on like Christmas period. So we were like, oh my God, I don't know if we can do it. And we were missing the sleeves, so we ended up gifting it for Christmas this year. But here it is. It's the Zipper Sweater Man by Petiteknit, and it's the second one that I made. He wanted this, like he wanted it, he requested it, because the past, like in 2023, yeah, I gifted one to my father that he never wore, so that's very nice of him. But anyways, he only got a hat this year. This is, oh my goodness, I don't know, like, I know there are so many other zipper sweaters out there, but this looks so cozy. And it's like kind of long. Should I like tilt down the camera, my iPad? Yeah, I think that's a bit better. This is where it reaches me, and I don't know, I feel like that's so cozy. And it fits him so well, actually, and I'm obsessed. It's not the most wearable thing because it's kind of chunky. You can see it's like iron weight, but it's just the most comfy thing ever. And the yarn is not that scratchy, because it was like, we purchased it with my mom at our local yarn store. All the Ravelry projects will be linked below, because, for example, for some projects, I don't remember the yarn that I used. I think this is maybe the only projects I don't remember, just because I started it so long ago, and it wasn't like the special yarn. It's like 50% acrylic, 50% wool. But I don't know, I think it looks really lovely. I don't understand the stripe here, but it's not a problem for me now. But it's just, I just feel so cool. Like, don't I look cool in this? I feel like I deserve one for me. But yeah, I just love this. 10 out of 10, and I'll write the cost here, because this is, I procrastinated looking at what yarn this was. So this is, I think, the only projects I don't have the cost for, but this was a gift knit, so it's fine. Then I have actually, maybe this would have come first actually. Yeah, I mean, I started this in 2023 and I just finished it in 2024. And it is the Broque Nouveau by Unwind Knitwear. So pretty. And it is one of my favorite makes this year. If it wasn't that, it's a bit too tight on the shoulders, so it fits a bit meh in some ways, but I try to make it work because it's just so stunning. It's fingering weight collar work yoke, like it's on the yoke and also on the body and a bit on the sleeves, as you can see. Okay, this is it. You see, it fits, but it kind of rises up in the front, even though there's a lot of short rows, because the neckline should just sit a bit more like this, I think. proportionally my bust is smaller than my shoulders, and my shoulders are a bit, they pull it outwards more, so it kind of does this little fold, and it just, I don't know, it bothers me a tiny bit. And I also think maybe, you know, for that reason, when it rides up, it's maybe a bit short. So I have the yarn left, so I'll maybe take the time next year to make it a bit longer. The yarn that I used, it's a woolly knit British wool. There were 2 cones. The main color is Pine Forest, and the gray is Morning Frost. I highly recommend this pattern. I know it looks kind of intimidating, and you know, there are some long floats. Also the pickup for the like underneath the arm for the sleeves was something that, I don't know, worried me a bit, but the pattern is super clear on how you do it. And you know, if I just went a size up, it would be perfect. And to be honest, maybe even if I just went up a size in the color work, because I don't know, when I'm knitting the color work, I feel like the gauge in the stockinette and the gauge in the color work are the same, but it's just that touch like tighter, the color work compared to the stockinette. So you know, it also doesn't help that this is stretchier than this. Like I feel like it's still pretty stretchy for being color work, like, but going up half a needle size just maybe works better. Duh. I mean, actually I did go up in needle size for the sleeve part because I saw it was kind of tight, so I didn't want to make it worse. The body was on a 3.5 for the gauge that I got, and so I went up to 4 on the sleeves. But yeah, like, I highly recommend this yarn for color work because look how neat that is. Like, you have no idea the difference that blocking makes. It just bloomed. It was amazing. And this yarn is also, it's not too bothering. Like, if you're new here, hi, it's me, I'm the problem, it's me. My skin is super sensitive, so it kind of, everything bothers me basically, other than like super soft merino and cashmere. But so that means my skin is very sensitive. And you know, with this under layer, that is the thing that I wear the most, like the under layer I wear the most in the winter, because of the problem of the shoulders. The neckline rides up and just bothers me a bit on the neck. But for how beautiful it looks in the color work, I feel like it's not even that bad. Like, I feel like it's very doable. Like, it's not too hairy. Like, you know, it has a bit of guard hairs poking out, but I feel like the more I wore it, the more they flatten out and the better it got, if it made sense. And I didn't wash it since I blocked it because I didn't wear it that much, unfortunately. Like, I still wore it a bit, but not to the point like it's 100% wool. I don't need to wash it that often, but maybe with washing that also helps. And it wasn't, I feel like I calculated the cost of the projects based on how much the yarn costs now and how much the pattern costs now. That I feel like since I bought these cones, Woolly Knit increased their prices. I feel like the 500 grams cones were £20 and they're now £30, I think. So I don't know, if you agree and if you think I'm right, let me know, because am I the only one thinking that? I feel like it was cheaper. But so, like, for how much the yarn costs now, this project cost €27.93. And yeah, with the £30 mark for each cone. Because, you know, this is not very oversized. Even if the gauge is tight, it didn't really use that much yarn. I still have a lot left. I'm going to definitely knit another project with these in 2025, which is very exciting. Yeah, ta-da! This is so beautiful, and if only I got up in needle size of the collar work, it would be perfect. But I still love to wear it whenever I feel brave. Then the next garment I started this year is one I highly love, and it's maybe my most worn garment this year, to be fair. And the beautiful thing is that the total cost for this garment is 0, because I already had the pattern, because it was my second time knitting it, and the yarn is repurposed from an old 100% wool skirt that I found in my mom's closet. So that's really cool, I think, and I love the yarn. And it's my second Marseille sweater, and it's, as you can see, without stripes. And the pattern is by Petiteknit, and I made a stripy version in 2023, and I really love the fit. So I just decided to make another one, but this time I went up a size. My first one is in size small, and this one is size medium. No, actually I think the first one was in 2022. Yep. So yeah. Ta-da! This is it. Really, like, excuse the wrinkles, because some of them were packed. I just came back from my university exchange, so they were all like vacuum sealed, so some of them are have like creases in weird places. But so I think this is the lightest garment I own. I think it's not even 200 grams of yarn, because I don't know, this yarn was really light, but still, like, it expanded a lot. Like, it had a lot of hair in it. The only thing I'm not 100% happy about, like, I'm 100% happy with the sleeve length, sleeve width, body length. I also wore it with one of my favorite dresses in the spring, and it was so cute. The only thing I'm a bit meh, it's the neckline. As you can see, it just flares a bit, but I think it's also a blocking thing. I don't know, I put an elastic in it. I think the elastic is not that high of quality, so I think it's stretched out again. But like, my hair covers it most of the times. Yeah, it's not really that bad. Like, if you look at it from here, like, I would prefer it if it was like this, but it's just minor details. And also, I think I used some cotton yarn, yeah, on the inside, because I was scared I was going to run out of yarn. And I think I used, like, for how much yarn I had, I think I used like 3/4 of it, or maybe less. So, like, I don't know why I did that, but never mind. And also, I thought it was clever if, you know, I found the yarn itchy to have like the cotton on the inside to touch my neck. But I slept in this, like, not slept in the evening, but like afternoon naps. I slept in this, and I found it really comfortable. So unfortunately, you cannot recreate this in like as it is, because the yarn was repurposed, but I love doing it. I'm also right now working on a bag with the, like, the yarn was from one of my favorite sweaters from when I was a child. I don't know, so I really like it. I think it's very cool, and this is really a staple in my wardrobe. I love how it fits. I'm so happy. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend doing something like this. And knitting in black is not that hard if you have in the day. Like, during the day, don't be too scared. Like, if you wear black a lot, like, I don't know if I wear black a lot, but it's definitely one of my colors. Like, I think it suits me a lot. I think I'm a winter, so like, there are some days I just want to wear something a bit less poppy and just stand out less, or maybe just something more basic, or a total black outfit, and it's very lovely to have something that I made. Then let's get into the only cardigan of the year. This was a very exciting test knit for Florence and made by Florence. And yeah, it was super cool. And this is the step-by-step cardigan. And this is a free pattern, so very approachable knit. You have an hour long video on, like, a tutorial video that she made, which I don't know, it's so nice of her, really. I'm shocked. She really made a service to the community by like putting these patterns, like the step-by-step patterns, for free, and that's really lovely. I don't know why my sleeves, like one of them sticks out more. I don't know. Oh, maybe these sleeves are a bit short. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't worn this in a while for obvious reasons. I mean, not obvious, but I didn't take it with me to Scotland. But I really like this. I think I really wanted a military green cardigan to like dress down the femininity of some of my spring dresses. So I found a story like a couple of days ago of me wearing this with a really like wide frilly dress, and I feel like that looked really cool. But anyways, so the pattern is free, and the yarn that I use is this very cool tweed. It's the Drop Soft Tweed, I think. I think they don't have that many colors, so you'll find this. And this is really light too, because I think the gauge, like it's an Aran weight cardigan, and I think this is a DK, maybe a bit more on the worsted side, but I just used the recommended needles and I got a gauge with it. It's just like, you know, it's not even see-through. It's very crazy. Maybe it bloomed when blocking, but it's technically a DK weight, and I knitted on 5.5mm needles, and I still got gauge. So if you want something a bit more airy and not as suffocating, this is perfect. And it has a double knitted bottom band, which is my favorite bottom band, but I'm a bit biased because I mean, I love how it looks, and every time I see a red bottom band versus a double knitted bottom band, I like the double knitted one more, but I never tried a non-double knitted bottom band. So yeah, I don't know. I will try, maybe I don't know. I guess maybe in the new year. And this project costed, I'm sorry, 23.53 euros. So it was kind of a very cheap project. Drops yarns are cheap, and actually I think I used half of the yarn that I originally bought. I didn't buy it for this test knit, but I bought like, I don't know, 1200 meters, I think. And I think I used it half. So I calculate these costs as like to the gram. Yeah, this is the cost of the yarn, and the pattern is free. So I definitely got a good bang for my buck. Next sweater is what I believe is my third most expensive one, but I paid $0. But technically, if you want to make it like that at least the price is what my boyfriend spent, which is so generous of him. I think this is my favorite gift from him. I mean, one of my favorite gifts. He gifted me like many not physical stuff that I love. So anyways, I'm getting emotional. This is the Seasons sweater by Ozetta, and I knitted it in the recommended yarn because I don't know how he did that, but he both bought me the yarn for the sweater, the recommended yarn for the sweater, and the pattern. So I think he went into a bit of a rabbit hole. I don't know how, but anyways, I think this was one of my, one of the sweaters that when I was a beginner, I was like, oh my god, I want to make that, but I never went around to making it. And also the recommended yarn is unspun. It's Istex Plutulupi, and so it's a Icelandic wool. And I told you my skin is very sensitive, so that wasn't my first choice, but I'm very glad I have this sweater because I feel like it's so pretty, and it definitely have its moment to shine, even though there are not that many. I don't know how many degrees are outside. Okay, it's 11 degrees, so it's not that too warm, but Icelandic wool and mohair. So it's Plotulopi by Istex and Le Bichabouche Le Petit Silk Mohair. So this is how the fabric up close looks like. So it's very hairy. It's very hairy. To be fair, the mohair softens the Plotulopi a bit, so that's nice. That was the only mohair that I enjoyed working with, even if I'm still pretty sensitive to it. Anyways, this is it. I love it. I have a full project vlog of this on my channel if you're curious to know my experience with knitting with unspun. I liked it, and I thought it would be, I'm a tight knitter, so I thought it would be much worse, but actually got used to it pretty fast, which is nice. And this was my first project in half fisherman's rib. I think this was one of them, like knitting in half fisherman's rib or brioche or something like that was one of my goals for this year. I'm not sure because I didn't go back to you know, the yearly resolutions video yet. So if you're curious about that, probably the next video is going to be like either plans or reviewing how I did this year in terms of my plans and whatever. But I really enjoyed it. It didn't went super fast, but I'm sorry if you can hear it, but I think they're doing some construction work. Anyways, I don't know, I really like it. There are two options for the hem, either to stay on the same needle size or to go down a needle size for the ribbing. So I didn't go down in needle size for the body. Oh, that's why, okay. For the body, oh, why is it, did I put it on backwards? No, okay. For the body, I didn't do that because I didn't want like a balloon effect, but I did it for the sleeves. And to be honest, like I like how it fits, and I don't know, with a front tuck, it's even better, I think, even though I don't know how to do it. But maybe, as it is so balloony in the sleeves, it would look more coherent if it was also balloony in the body. But anyways, the cost, oh no, the cost of this sweater was, drum rolls, 71 euros.01. So it was, I mean, it's on, I've heard people spending like more than 100 for very nice sweaters, but this is the third most expensive garment of the year, so take another peek at it. It's beautiful. I think I need to rush because we're already 30 minutes in. Now, the only kind of vest is situation that I did this year that was kind of a fail, not going to lie. Like, I love the look of it, but I don't know, I never wore it and I highly doubt I'm going to wear it. But it's the Amy Slipover, and I don't remember where the front is. Okay, here it is. It's the Amy Slipover by Sandnes garn. So if you watch Inga of Knitting Traditions, you might recognize this. Oh, looking at it now, it's kind of pretty. Like, it is pretty, but the yarn choice was a bit of a miss. I think the recommended yarn was a fingering and a mohair, but you know, my relationship with mohair, I don't know. And I don't have a garment like this, so I don't know how much I was going to wear it, so I didn't want to splurge on it. So I held double drops alpaca, and it's a bit scratchy. And it's a bit warm, like it's very warm. If you, I don't know, if you want to wear this in the winter, then it's fine, but thinking of wearing it as like a transitional piece, it's a bit too warm. Like wearing it over dresses, and the warmer it gets, the scratchier it gets. So I don't know, and it doesn't help. Like the neckline doesn't help. It's not super tight, but still I can feel the alpaca like irritating my skin. But I think, oh my goodness, I think it looks so pretty though, like with this outfit. But you can see it has been folded for a long time. I never wore it. It looks super pretty. I think I wanted it to gift it to my mom, but she finds it scratchy as well. So I don't know. maybe I'll give it another chance. Just because I told you I didn't bring it with me to the exchange, so I didn't wear it because I didn't have it. I think I wouldn't have worn it anyways, but you know, you never know, you never know. So, and winter is not over, it's January, so I still have a bit of time to decide. But the most, like, it goes by fairly fast. Neckline, a bit of a slog. Most slog of all is these long ass ties. Oh my goodness. Look how long they are. Like, they're super long, and I'm kind of tall too, so you cannot see where they end, but they're really long, and you have to make two, and you know, they're knitted continuously. It's not like you pick up here and then you knit down, you pick up here and you knit down, you pick up, like, you have all of this and all of this and all of this too on the needle, so you have tons of stitches, so it feels like it goes on forever. But yeah, the pattern is by Sandnes garn, and I didn't pay for the pattern because it's in a booklet, and my friend Isabella had it, so she kindly, I mean, we both made it. It was kind of a knit along. We both made it, and I think her was more successful than mine. But so basically, I just bought the yarn. Like, I just spent the money for the yarn. So, and it was 26.38 euros. But again, drops yarn, and it's like, you know, it costed basically as much as the Broque nouveau, and that's an entire sweater. So it kind of, you know, it takes more yarn than you think for a Slipover, or at least that's how I felt about it. I'm so excited. Then there is my favorite garment of the year. One of my favorite garments, okay? Like, oh my god, I'm so excited. It's the Barbrow blouse by Knitting for Olive. If you have the Knitting for Olive pattern book, it's in there, but you can also, I think, purchase it independently, like individually. But one of a lovely viewer just shared with me her digital copy of the book, so that was so generous of her. So if you're watching, thank you so much. And the yarn that I used was the recommended yarn again, just because I knitted a project in my first year of knitting with this yarn, and I had some, I had some leftovers, so I just had to buy one more ball of it. This is Knitting for Olive Merino in the shade Bordeaux, and look at this beauty. I am so obsessed with it. I like, you know, it's kind of a, it's not an occasion piece, but it's not that casual, but I think I wore it quite a few times for being this like chic and feminine, and I don't know, I love it. If you're not familiar with this pattern, I also have a project vlog on this, and I think it's like the most viewed video on my channel, which is nice. Because I struggled a lot. I think I did the whole body and then decided that it was like too big. This is size 1. I started size 3 originally. Oh my god, so yeah. Size 1, if you know, you know. And you start bottom up. This is the satin sleeve construction garment. The only one this year. So you actually like knit the sleeves separately bottom up, and then you seam it, and I think I did a pretty good job. Like, I think it's very seamless. Like, of course there is a seam, but it looks seamless. Sorry. Like, I think the pattern matches up really well, and you have this gorgeous neckline, and then also a keyhole detail in the back. Let me see. I hope you can see the buttons. But they're super pretty, and they were in my mom's stash, so I didn't pay for the buttons. And I don't know, I just don't want to take it off. It's so pretty. I think it's one of my favorites. I got complimented a lot, so I think, you know, I struggled a bit with the pattern. It's not the clearest in the world, especially the sleeves instructions. but I try to be as clear as possible on what I've done in my Ravelry notes and in my project vlog, so I think that helps. But I think that, yeah, and people reached out to me on Instagram to like ask for help, like suggestions, or just to share their projects, which was so nice. And I think one of the people who reached out, she kindly said that she thinks that, yeah, maybe the pattern, like the digital pattern, was updated with better instructions for the sleeves, and actually this was the right way to do it, she told me. So yeah, and so if you want more information, just go back to the vlog. It's just such a beautiful top, and I highly recommend it if it's your style. I'm so sorry if you can hear all the construction going on, but this is the only day I could film because I'm alone at home. So, and the cost for this was 38 euros, which I feel like it's really good. I think I only used, oh, and this is another thing. I think that since the beginning of the year, Knittingflem increased their prices for the merino. Like, wasn't it like $6.90 something? Now it's $7 something, but it's 38 with the current price. So, and so it's the equivalent of, I think, 4 balls. And it's a really nice yarn, and I think it worked pretty well. Like, yeah, absolutely. I didn't shave any of these garments, so there's no particular sign of wear. It's still good as new, so that's really nice. Holds up really well. Then, next pattern I did was Cumulus blouse by Petiteknit, and just let me try this on. This was a really quick knit, I remember, but I'll try it on again just to be sure. But I think there is something that I would change. Oh wow, this looks so pretty. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely not how I would wear it. Like, it doesn't look too bad with the black thing underneath. But anyways, I don't know. Yeah, the I cord, it's pretty tight at the bottom. I feel like I don't remember what I did with the whole decreasing and going down in meal size situation in the I cord. I probably wrote it down in my Ravelry notes, but I would undo it and redo it better. I don't know. I would maybe also lengthen it a tiny bit. I mean, now that I'm seeing it, doesn't look too bad at all. Like, doesn't look too short. It's a good length. I don't know. I don't know if I haven't like the yarn left. I think I maybe put it into the blanket. So yeah, I don't know. So maybe in the new year I'll just try to undo this and do this less tightly. But yeah, so this is the Cumulus blouse by Petiteknit, and it's yeah, a top down raglan v-neck. This is my first v-neck sweater. I'm shocked because I like a v-neck actually. I think, like, I really like the look of them, but I never took time to knit a v-neck sweater. And when I was looking at my sweaters, I was like, that's not possible. I remember doing that, but all the v-necks that I made were cardigans and vests, not sweaters. So this is my first v-neck sweater. Like, I think for my preferences, for an actual sweater, I would like the v-neck to go a bit deeper, but for just a blouse, I think this looks quite casual and also elegant if you style it the right way. So I really like it, and I think this wasn't really expensive either. I'm taking my phone because I have all the costs here. Because the yarn that I used is, again, some drops alpaca silk. I used this because I had it in stash, and I think from another project, from a gift knit that I did, I think. So I just had to purchase like 1 or 2 balls more, so I was like, might as well do this. This is quite like easy, quite an easy project. So yeah, it was 17.91 euros with the current cost of drops alpaca silk. I don't know, I feel like I love the color. I really like it. I don't know about you, but I love the blue and the blue. Like, some people are like, yeah, I don't really knit with blue because then I wear blue jeans and then I look like a blue blob. I like being a blue blob. I don't know, I feel like it's pretty. But anyways, I feel like I'm rambling. So, yeah, let's get on to the next one. And the next one is, I think, one of the most exciting makes of the year. I have a pattern. I have my first sweater design pattern in testing right now. I think we're 3 weeks from the deadline, but all my testers are doing an amazing job. They all look so phenomenal. So just to say that this is my first sweater design. This is the Sandro Pullover by me, and the name was inspired by my grandfather from my dad's side. So, oh my god, I feel so emotional putting this on. I actually made a couple of changes in the pattern, like the neckline is a tad smaller, but this is how it looks. It's like stockinette panel with cables in between and 1x1 ribbing, European shoulder construction with short rows on the top and on the shoulder cup. Yes, and this is my, I think, only pink garment of the year. I think it's my first pink garment actually, so I'm very happy with it. I don't know if it's the color that suits me the most pink wise, but I don't know, I really like it with the blue again, and I feel like I nailed the fit. Because of course, if you knit and design a sweater, you design it the way you like it. So I think I slayed the fit. This is front tuckable, even though I never do it. But you can, oh, this is quite cute actually. You can do this, or just like, you know, it's not that super crop, it's not that, it's not too long, it's not too short. So I feel like I don't need to tuck it in, but I don't look like a giant blob, you know, it doesn't drown me. I think it fits really well. I love all the details, and the recommended yarn is Drops Daisy. And let's talk about it, because this feels a ton, but it also depeels really well. In Scotland, I bought a wool comb, you know, the one to depeel your sweater, and that worked wonders for this. But yeah, I wore it again, and I think, yeah, it's starting to peel again, but nearly, like, definitely peeling, don't get me wrong. This is definitely pilly, but I felt like the first, like before I peeled it the first time, it was worse. I don't know, I'm going to have to make you wait and update you again, but I knitted another sweater that it wore less than this though, but I haven't depeeled that yet, so we'll see how that works up. So yeah, if you want to knit this, I plan on releasing the pattern if everything is fine. Planning on releasing it on like around St. Valentine's time, so I'm so excited. And this is also like, you know, pretty boxy, and the only shaping is like, there's no waist shaping or bust shaping or any of that, so it's a pretty unisex sweater. I feel like I have maybe 2 people knitting for men, or maybe just one. But anyways, the first version, I'm going to put a picture here, was actually from my brother, so this actually works out really well. 29.7 euros. But yeah, Drops Daisy is very soft. It's one of my favorite yarns to wear, to be honest, and it's just a very soft, non-superwash merino, and it knits up really nicely, it blocks really nicely, has a really nice drape, non-itchy at all on the skin, so that's a very big plus for me personally. So I would highly recommend, and I mean, of course I would recommend the pattern, but it's not out, and also it's mine, so okay, well, do with that what you want. But if you're waiting for the release of this, it's scheduled in mid-February, so don't lose your hopes. Oh, and also on the test knit group today, they sent so many pictures of like the early Harry Potter movies, where basically they had a sweater exactly like this, and they were like, should we do a knit along, like a Sandro version 2.0 Harry Potter theme? That I was like, actually, yes, I plan to knit another one of these soon-ish, but I don't have the yarn, and I already bought a lot of yarn, so who knows when that's going to happen, but I just love this. And yeah, then we have another sleigh. Actually, this is another blouse. It's a summer garment, but it's not a camisole or a top. I mean, yeah, it's a top because it goes on the top, but it's another blouse, number 1. This is my second one, and I increased. What did I increase? I went up in sizes a lot. I think I made size large, and I use this so much in the summer. This was like my go-to summer sweater. It's so slouchy. As you can see, the sleeves are kind of long because it kind of grew a lot. Like you can see, it's crazy, but yeah, it's black, so it's very versatile. It's super drapey. The yarn is my favorite summer yarn, I think. Is Mayflower bamboo. Like it's basically bamboo and tencel mix, and it's the most drapey thing. Like, do you see this? Like, and it's so cooling on the skin, and I love how like big the neckline is. To be honest, like maybe size large was a bit much, but like it kind of drops on the shoulder a bit. It kind of opens up, but I can always put a crochet reinforcement or an elastic. And anyways, it's meant to be super drapey and fun and summery. So I just wore it a ton, and the yarn is gorgeous. I don't know, it feels so silky but soft. If you're not convinced by the cotton fibers, definitely give the bamboo, like bamboo, yes, but also this yarn in particular a try, because I assure you it's like, and it it's not even that expensive, so that's nice. The blouse number 1 has pure silk by Knitting for Olive as the recommended yarn and pattern, and I think it's very expensive, but this is an amazing option, and it is 45.89 euros. I feel like it's a decent price for a very lovely, soft, drapey, all of that. You understood that I love this summer sweater. I don't regret anything. I love this. I wore it a lot on vacation, on the chilly summer evenings, which are non-existent, but if you've ever been on vacation in Italy, in an hotel, they blast the AC so high, and I was like, I don't know, oh my god, it's so cold. Like while having dinner, and people be looking at me like, do you realize it's 40 degrees outside? I'm like, yeah, but there are penguins inside now, okay? I don't care. So this was super helpful for that, and for being a layer, it packs up quite small. Ooh, then I have another favorite, and I don't know how I'm going to try this on, but it's the dress of the year. And actually, I also have a project blog for this, and many people asked me if I was going to release the pattern for this, but it has a bit of a funny story. This is a summer dress. I used the pattern from the Camisole number 4 by My Favorite Things as a guideline, just for the increased rates on the cups, and like where to stop. But when it came to like joining in the round, like, you know, casting on new stitches for joining in the round, and this looks so silly actually, and like hip shaping, waist shaping, all the shaping, I just figured it all out myself. So I don't know about how much of that pattern there is in this garment, not a lot, but I was like, can I release this as a pattern if until here I followed someone else's? So I don't know how I'm going to deal with that, but you cannot see the bottom. I'm pissed. Okay, please don't die. Like my iPad is really this looks so bad with like the hardware of the thing showing. Okay, I'm just going to put in a video. But yeah, it's super pretty, and it didn't cost me basically anything, just the cost of the pattern, because this was also an unraveled sweater. I had a sweater, I think it was maybe, I don't know if it was my mom's or it was mine, but it was 100% viscose, and I was like, it's not warm, but it's long sleeve, so I'm never going to wear it. And it was also it wasn't particularly my style, you know, the blouse number 1, it's my style. That sweater wasn't really my style. It had like drop stitches and stuff. Like now thinking about it, it's cool, but maybe the fit wasn't right, I don't know. So I just decided to unravel it, and this is what I did with it. So that's so cool, and I'm so sad I didn't get the chance to wear it this summer, because I finished it in August and I didn't bring it in to Scotland because, you know, it's never summer there basically, you know. And this has like a round skirt kind of shaping, which is my favorite. So maybe I'll do like a made to measure pattern and like figure out like a couple of shaping on the top, on like if you already have a camisole pattern that you want, like that you like the top of, but you'd like to do this type of shaping, something like that kind of pattern. But I don't know, I don't want to promise anything, but this sounds cool, so maybe I'll try to do that. And I have some bows on the top, and this was actually like just for practicality reasons, because I know people who knitted the camisole number 4 had the I-cord stretching a lot and the camisole itself stretch a lot, and this is a lot heavier than what the camisole version would be. So I just tied it in a bow, and I think I might keep it actually. I think it's quite cute, and yeah, it's black and it's rib. That's called rib, broken rib. And I think I didn't leave all the ends in. Yeah, you know, there are a lot of ends because it was an unraveled sweater. I couldn't really split splice it together, but I just wove in, you know, the ones on the top, basically the ones on the straps, and the ones that were too long and like they were hanging at the bottom. So I don't know if I'll get around to weaving ends. I don't mind weaving ends, but I was on a rush. Like basically I finished, like I tried this on the morning before going to the airport to leave, so I didn't have exactly that much time to make the finishing bits of this. So yeah, then oh yeah, super exciting. If you've been here since the beginning, I finally finished my excavation blanket, and it's like over a kilo, maybe over 2 kilos, I don't know, of yarn. So I only had like a limited weight to put on the luggage, so I didn't have the occasion to use this since I came back, no, until when I came back. And this is so warm, and it's so nice to know that you knitted a blanket. Like, it's so crazy. Like, it lays on my bed and it's super warm and cozy, and I'm in love. This is the back. This is how big it is. This is the back. This is the front. It's a garter stitch blanket that is worked on the bias, and you have you work 2 rows so that you can tie tassels at the end. I made it rectangular instead of squared, just to fit my bed better, but that meant that for a very long section I had to weave in ends for it, but I didn't mind it and I thought it was very much worth it in the end. Then something that's very cute, I think, like every time I see it I'm like, oh, that's very nice, if I can find it. And this, yeah, like from here to here, all the colors of the emotions. No, I think, sorry, from the white to the white, like anxiety, anger, embarrassment, ennui, blah blah blah, all of them, they're here. So I don't know, I feel like that's a cute touch, but I don't know, just a fun fact, I guess. But this is super cozy, and there is also a project vlog on this. It's 1.5 years long, so I feel like that's quite nice to watch. Wasn't a very popular video, but I don't care. I just was quite a delusional vlog because I don't know, it was very difficult to keep up with the updates because I didn't work on this for months and months and months, and then in 1 month I finished it. So, you know, it wasn't a linear progression, but I feel like it's very cool that I have a vlog about it. So if you're curious to know all there is to know to make this, go ahead. I'll link it down below as everything else, but it is on my channel and you will find it. Woo. Then we are on the Scotland train. These are the 4 sweaters that I made while in Scotland in the exchange in Edinburgh. This is basically my Scotland sweater. Like most of the yarns I bought there and they are local, or like all the yarns are at least within the UK. So the main color is, oh my god, it's so soft. I love this yarn. It's kind of expensive though, like not for how it feels like, but it kind of is. It's Kinross 4-ply. This is the most expensive project of the year actually. So this is not only in the top 3, this is top 1. It's the most expensive one. But I love this so much. I wore it a lot. I got a lot of use out of it because it had a turtleneck, cozy. Oh god, it's kind of looking a bit wonky because I think it was wonky in the vacuum sealed bag. Oh no. Okay, good. So this is my Maxine Sweater by Laura Penrose, and this was a test knit I did for her. And I think I want to rip out most of it this year. I don't know if I want to, like, for sure, even though it's super cozy, I think this is a bit impractical for a warm winter. So and there is a turtleneck version and there is a crew neck version, so maybe I'll rip it back and do the crew neck version of this. And also there is a bit of a mistake. I feel like you cannot really see it, but basically what I did is I forgot to do the last increase round after the colorwork yoke, and so I don't know where that is, but can you see that the beginning of the round is not at the center back anymore because I followed, you know, that meant that I didn't have as many stitches. I needed a size 4. So that meant I didn't have enough stitches to split for sleeves in the correct way for size 4, but I just went around and did the sleeves size 4. But you know, I didn't do that on purpose. It was a mistake that I did, but I didn't realize until I was doing the split hem. So, and I had everything done, both sleeves, colorwork, and I had another test knit to do, and I had my pattern to write. So I was like, this fits okay, so I'm going to keep it this way. But I think it is so beautiful and I spent so much money on it. Like, it falls a little bit here because of that thing of the center back not being centered, because then the short rows are not centered, and then I think it should be like this, and you can see that it doesn't pucker at all. So that's how it should be. But here one shoulder is more up front than what the other one is, so it kind of folds here. But it's beautiful. The like the lilac and the Blue I bought at my first yarn festival. I went to the Scottish Yarn Festival and I bought them there. So they are from the north of Scotland. Caithness, maybe? My friend Rebecca taught me how to say that and where that is. I hope I'm right. But again, it's all in my Ravelry. Then you can see that the dark green is the woolly knit cone that I used from the first sweater of the year in the pine forest. Then the other green is also a woolly knit cone that I only use for this. I still haven't used it for anything else yet. And the dark pink was a purchase that my mom did for her at the Scottish Yarn Festival, and it was a cone of 1 kilo of 100% Tweedy wool from the Lanark spinning mill, and which is a mill in Scotland. So I think it's kind of near Edinburgh. So everything is at least within the UK, most of it within Scotland. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy about it. I think only the British wool was from outside Scotland, but this is my Scotland sweater. If you're not familiar with the main yarn, it's a very, very, very soft yarn. It's a lamb's wool, and it basically feels like cashmere. It's super soft. That's why I opted it for this pattern I splurged on, because it had a turtleneck. And I didn't bring a scarf with me in Scotland, so I needed the turtleneck to cover up. And it's super, super nice. I held it double for this. It's a fingering weight. And I don't know what else to say. It's just a beautiful sweater, but maybe, like, it feels a bit, I don't know, it feels a bit weird when I'm moving in it. And I think the sleeves are a bit short. Like, the sleeves are a bit short, you know, for such a wintry looking sweater with the turtleneck and the thing and the collar work. I think I want the sleeves to be a bit longer, so what I did is purchase an extra 50 grams skein of this. So I'll rip back the body and the sleeves and do something about the yoke so that it fits better, and do the folded over, like, the crew neck, so that I save a bit of yarn there, so that it can go into making maybe the body a bit bigger, because I think basically yoke and sleeve are size 4 and body size 3, which I don't mind, because that's also a pattern modification basically that Laura has, that, you know, that's why it kind of fits so comfortably compared to my first sweater that was also a circular yoke, because she also has a bigger shoulder than bust. So she was like, you can go up a size in the yoke so that you don't have the problem of the bunching, but still have, you know, the rest being the correct size for your overall proportions. So yeah, it's also in the pattern, but it's not made this way. Like, it's not made by making the mistake. It's like by kind of spacing out the increases in different ways. So I feel like it's a bit weird. Like, it feels a bit weird. Oh yeah, also because for the way that I split for sleeves, the back, it's shorter, like in circumference. The circumference of the back is smaller than the circumference on the front. That's why when I do this, like, it pulls, and I don't know. I still very much enjoy it. It's still beautiful, but as I spent so much money on this, I feel like I spent nearly 90 euros. Let me check. I spent 87.78 euros, which is a lot. And considering that when I'll rip this back and add the other skein, it will be plus £9 with like £10 more, which is like 12, no, I don't know, it's times 1.2 euros. So it's going to be closest to 100 euros of sweater. So I want it to fit exactly like I want. So that's what I'm planning. But yeah, I want to show you the floats because I really wanted the colorwork yoke to turns out a the best it could. So all of these yarns are quite rustic on the yoke because I can wear a layer underneath and that won't bother me. So this is quite comfortable, but it's the prettiest colorwork I've ever seen. Like, look how even that is. Look how even that is. Like, it's crazy beautiful. I'm sorry, but my professor, like, I asked a professor to be like to help me write my thesis, and I got an answer, but I'll have to wait to finish recording to see what he said. But I was like, oh my god. Okay, look at this. All the yarns bloomed so well. The Cumulus 4-ply, I think, has a ton of spinning oil in it. Like, all the yarns, all of these yarns, I think, had a bit of it in there, but I had to wash it 5 times to get the water clear. The first one was brown, like, it was nasty. So it just flocks out so well, and I'm super happy with it. And I would highly recommend this pattern because even if I made a mistake, a rookie mistake, it fits so well. You can see it from all the other tester pictures, and also for me, I like how it fits, but could be better. You can see the beginning of round is here instead of being like here. So maybe for next year, I really want to like to make little tweaks. This is not going to be a little tweak, but make other little tweaks to some sweaters because I have a lot of them now and I don't have space for them. So if I decide to keep them, they will have to be perfect or close to perfect. Next one, it was my original like celebration of going to Scotland, but it is still very much Edinburgh-esque, is the Cargill Sweater by Rebecca Clow. And you know, she's pretty famous, but if you don't know her, she's a designer, a knitwear designer, and she lives in Edinburgh. She has a podcast, she's called the Creabea. And I was going to Edinburgh for the exchange. I was like, what's more Edinburgh than the Creabea? And this pattern was actually kindly gifted by a viewer, so thank you so much. That's super nice of you, and I hope you like it then. And it's again in Drops Daisy. This was the color like light lavender or something like that, and this is the peeling situation. I haven't worn it as much as my own design because, you know, it's not that oversized because that's the style of the pattern. It fits so well, but I haven't finished it in a long time, so that's also why I didn't wear it as much. I still wore it a lot, I think, but anyways. This is a top-down raglan all over dip stitch pattern. It's one of the most beautiful textures I've ever seen. It's the squishiest thing. I loved working on this. I think I made like the sleeves in the pattern were bracelet length. Also, I'm taller than Rebecca and I have longer arms than her, so I had to, like, sleeve island on this was a thing. I had to like lengthen the sleeves by like almost 10 centimeters, I think. But I still had a lot of yarn left over, I think, from recommended. Maybe, did I shorten it? I feel like I didn't shorten it that much. Like, it was cropped also in the pattern pictures. And I don't know, I really suggested. I suggest the yarn and the pattern together. I feel like that looks super nice because it's super squishy and the yarn definition is crazy. And also, you know, there was a thing with, you don't cast it on in the round and do short rows. You kind of cast on a wedge in the back and then you work a bit and then you join in the round so that the neck is higher than the front. But some people, like when it got released 2 years ago, they were like, that's not the clearest. I agree that it's like, you know, it's pretty straightforward what you have to do, but as you have to incorporate the texture at the same time, there's a bit of second guessing, but it's really not that big of a deal and everything is here. So if it's not as it's intended in the pattern, I think maybe what I did is not intended in the pattern. I'm not sure, but you can see like it's just a few stitches, so it's not that big of a deal. You can do it and it's still pretty clear, like, you know, it's pretty clear. You can do it. There's a lot of project notes on projects pages in Ravelry if you feel like you didn't understand something. So if this intimidates you, it did take a bit, but once you get used to the whole pulling up the yarn and dipping the stitch, it's really doable. I feel like I also had fun knitting this, which is crazy, because it was, yeah, I was afraid it was a bit of a slog, but actually when like it's just a 4-row pattern repeats, so I was like, yeah, I finished one, let's do the next one, let's do the next one, let's do the next one. But yeah, like the only row that takes a bit is the first one, because on row 1 you dip, but the other ones it goes by pretty fast, and that makes it so potato chippy that I love it. Next one is number 2 of the most expensive project. It's, but I've worn it actually a lot since I finished it. It's the sweater number 29 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, and it's a saddle shoulder, all over cable, saddle shoulder. I said it like pretty oversized sweater. I knit size medium. What else can I say? You see this? It's so beautiful. And the yarn was, I really love this. And I feel like they increased the price of this too, because I felt like I didn't spend this much on this. But it's called Knittingflem, the Heavy Merino and the Dusty Artichoke. I don't know, I'm so excited. Like, I've always wanted the sweater number 15 in the Dusty Artichoke, but for the weight and the cost, I don't know. I just couldn't justify it at the time. But now, like, look at this. This is so pretty, and I feel like the color suits me a lot. I have a summer top in this color. That's why I could try it on and see how it went with my skin tone. I don't know, I feel like I like it. And so you have the saddle shoulders, so you knit the saddles, you pick up from these, you knit the front, you knit the shaping, there are short rows, and also short rows on the sleeves. You have a bit of, oh, this looks awful, God. Yeah, this looks better. You have some decreases at the end of the sleeve. So, I don't know, I feel like it's pretty good. I feel like I love it. I would 100% recommend it. But I feel like they increased the price of the Heavy Merino. This costed me 76.16 to make euros. And yeah, of course, I also included the price of the pattern into that. But yeah, this is so pretty. I knitted size medium because I have broader shoulders and I wanted the shoulders to drop more, and anyways, I don't mind a bit more positive ease, but you can tuck it in. And for how much I wear it, this looks, Jesus, brand new. Like, there's no pilling. Basically, there's no pilling. There is a bit of fluffing up, but I wouldn't call it pilling. Like, this is hard wearing, and after, like, with wear and with handling and with stuff, it just softens up a lot. Like, it's definitely not as soft as the Drops Daisy, but when it arrived, it felt like rough linen, and I was like, oh no. But because it's merino wool, after all, it's still pretty neutral. It's still neutral against my skin, because it's not a scratchy wool. Like, I have encountered some merino wools that were actually scratchy, but you know, this is a pretty high quality yarn, so it's not scratchy. Like, even if it's not soft and like cashmere to the touch, it's still beautiful, and I would justify the price. Like, some people were like, you know, for being knitting for Olive and like this, I wanted it to be the just thicker version of their merino, and I get it, but I feel like this is maybe a bit more versatile than the merino. You could, you know, the weight is just their normal merino held double, but as it is not as soft, like, it has a bit more texture to it. I feel like cables pop a lot. You could knit color work with this and it will still have a bit of a grip that maybe normal merino, like softer merino, doesn't have. So I feel like this is an amazing yarn, and it's maybe one of the loveliest discoveries of this year. So I would recommend this yarn if you want to give it a try, and it is very sensitive skin approved. We're on the last garment of the year, and this was a test knit from my friend Rebecca. Look how pretty this is. I'm so happy. This is the Maxine Sweater, okay, by Journey Through Yarns. That was like her Ravelry and Instagram and YouTube handle. And look at this, look at this. Like, I saw it at her stand because she had a designer stand, oh god, at the Scottish Yarn Festival, and I saw her version. I was like, oh, what is this? I like it a lot. So she's nicked me into the chest knit because I had a vision. I had a vision for this. Like, tell me this doesn't give effortless, classy chic. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I used, it's a bit scratchy on my neck, unfortunately. I use Filcolana Peruvian Highland wool, which is quite soft to the touch. And I also ordered another color for another project. And I feel like the Snow White, maybe because it's bleached, is not as soft. It has a bit more texture. So prickles me a bit on the neck, but I'll try with wear to like stretch out the neck so that it's less high up. It's so pretty. So Filcolana Peruvian Highland wool in Snow White. Then you can see it has these colorwork stripes, and I hope you can see there are like a bit of pearl bumps, and I feel like it really elevates the thing. Like in some other colorwork sweater patterns that I've seen with textured colorwork, it was a bit like, it wasn't unnecessary, but I think it wasn't adding to it, to the already existing design necessarily. But I feel like this has such an interesting look because there are a lot of pearl stitches in this colorwork, so it doesn't go, it's not as mindless as maybe some other colorwork that you've tried, but it is so cool. And the medium gray is West Yorkshire Spinners Jacob Fleece DK in the medium gray, and then this light gray and the black are West Yorkshire Spinners Craft DK in like Lannister and Claw something, I don't know, the black and the light gray. Anyways, I don't think they have too many colors, and if they have, they're still linked. They're all in my Ravelry project page. You can see they have like all contrasting hands, which I feel like is so cool. I swapped around, I think, these two colors. I felt like the medium gray would have been here, but this is quite a rustic yarn. You can see there's a bit of, it's quite woolly compared to the Craft DK. So I was like, can I swap them? And she was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, thank you. Actually, like, you know, this is, I think, a quite long-ish sweater on me. But there was another tester, the name is escaping me right now, but her version was like, I think, hitting her about here. And so I was like, ooh, I really want this to be like long and oversized and cozy. But I think maybe my torso is quite a bit shorter than hers, so I have one less stripe than the pattern recommends, and also the yoke is quite deep. So I think I maybe also have one less stripe than it recommends also on the sleeves. But yeah, it's a bit tricky to block it. You can see there's a very, because I stretched the colorwork line, so it lays a bit flat, like on the blocking mat, but I could just like steam the sides to make it a bit like round sleeves. I have a bit left of the white, like 15 grams maybe. So I'll maybe do some sweater surgery and add it to the sleeves because they're the perfect length when I'm like this. But I feel like this is so oversized and cozy that I don't know what to do with that small of a leftover, so I might as well do this. I don't know, yeah, but it's lovely. It was also a bit expensive, but I wanted to use, yeah, local yarns too. Like, I don't know where Filcolana is from, maybe some northern country, but the West Yorkshire spinners is British, I think. So this is, it's not even that much. I mean, it's 61.35 euros, but I have a lot, like I have most of these yarns, like of the Conscious Colors yarns left over because they only came in 100 grams. So yeah. Then let's get into the accessories really quick. I don't know if they're all of them, but these are most of them. And I'm just going into whatever I want order. So first, I think actually they're the first. It's this like kind of set of hat. Oh my god, that's so cute. Hat and scarf. This was a pattern from Purse Soho. And this is the brioche scarf chunky by Garn Slate. And I don't know, look at this. The yarn was some kind of yarn that some kind of mom of some friend of my mom who died left, and then they got it to me because they know I knit, so I kind of collect everyone's stash. And this was a kind of a, I think of an Angora acrylic blend, something like that. But this was my first brioche project, and this was so fun. Like, if you, yeah, I already made the Sophie shawl, but if you're looking for another of those like triangular kind of organically shaped scarf, I highly recommend this pattern because it goes by so fast. It's on quite chunky needles, the brioche is super fun, and it's very easy. And yeah, what else? Do it. Like, if you're looking for something else than the Sophie shawl, this. Then, with the leftovers of my design, like my sweater design, of a hat hair, I have made a Oslo hat. I feel like this is the only Oslo hat. I think I've made 3 for me, and 1 as a gift this year, 1 for my boyfriend, so it's not here in the pile, but this is I think the only one that fits me, that actually fits me the way it's supposed to, because I went up a needle size compared to my other ones, and this is on 4mm needles, and I think that's the right gauge. So ta-da! I like it a lot, and just used up some leftover yarns, which is very nice. Then I think I'll finish with the hat, even if this was the last one. And as you can see, I haven't weaved in the ends, but this is the gift knit for my dad. I used a free pattern from Ravelry, but I didn't like the free pattern. It was just the cable with the stockinette, like 2 stitches of stockinette, and then like that, alternating. But I added 2 things of 2 stitches, and I cabled those, and then I cabled like 1 to the left and 1 to the right to kind of make some kind of lonely honeycomb thing. Because my dad, when he came to visit me at Edinburgh, he saw a hat that was so ugly. Okay, it was so ugly. It was like all acrylic, and it was an horrible color combo, and it was so expensive. I was like, I refuse to let you buy this. I'll make it for you if you want. And because also I didn't have any other gifts ideas, so I basically recreated the patterning on the hat, which was nice, but come on, this is a lot cuter. And this is another, like, the iron weight wool from the wool, oh god, the hole on this is quite big, but anyways, it's on the top of the hat. It's the iron weight wool from the Lanark spinning mill, and they have amazing colors. And he chose this like tweedy military green, and it's so pretty. And they actually have one 100%, 100 grams ball left. I think maybe more, but so I have yarn to make something else with it. I don't really know what, and I didn't weave in the ends because I don't know, like it has a longer brim, so depends on how he wanted it to fit. And I didn't weave the ends in because he wants me to line it, because this is a quite rustic wool. He wants me to line it, but if I don't know where he wants the brim to sit, I cannot line it, because if then he wants to fold up the brim higher, then the lining is going to stick out at the end. Anyways, so this was my last project of the year, I think. Then in a whim, I don't know, in the summer I made a December bow that I was planning to wear on Christmas Day, and guess what, I forgot to attach it to the clip, so still haven't worn this. Yay, nice. So yeah, what can I do? This December bow in a scrap yarn, and then with some leftovers I made this like kerchief that I never wore. I think, I don't know, maybe I cannot style it correctly, and I think it looks quite cute, but I never took it out because usually in the summer I wear hats because it's really sunny and really warm, so I kind of want to protect all this. So I never picked this instead of my cap, so maybe I'll give it another try next summer. And also like my hair is in quite a state right now. Like it was straight, but it's trying to curl up because my hair is curly, and I've seen all this like cute curly girls like with big curls and the kerchief looking so cute, and I don't know, maybe it's not for me. But then I knit maybe 4 pairs of socks, I think. I knitted a pair of Sunday socks for me. They're like in I don't know, a random yarn that I bought in Norway. I don't remember what that is anymore. And then for for Christmas I knitted a pair of Sunday socks for my mom. I actually made her a pair for last Christmas, but they were a bit too snug. But this is the other Filcolana Peruvian Highland wool. I feel like the other colors are softer than the white. Anyways, Sunday socks. Then I made these pair of socks with this like self-strapping yarn, and this was my first pair of like proper fingering weight socks. And yeah, it's like a free pattern on Ravelry. I'll just write it on the screen, and I think this self-strapping yarn was from Regia, and the contrast like heel was a superwash Norwegian yarn that I bought together with the other one. And yeah, it definitely felted, which is quite curious, but I worn them quite a lot, so there's definitely a bit of felting, but no holes yet, so I feel like they're holding up pretty well, because this is not a sock yarn, the superwash one, but it bills a lot, as you can see, and I haven't shaved them, like especially here, but I haven't shaved them. But anyways, and this is my favorite. This is for my mom. She really needs to be grateful. I knitted for her 2 pairs of socks. Like, oh my god, that's a lot. I hate knitting socks, but I used West Yorkshire Spinners like signature 4-ply yarn in Holly Berry. I don't know how I remember, but this shade is Holly Berry. And then I used dark red Filcolana Arvetta. Both sock yarns starting to pill again, but I don't know, I hope they hold up well. Still same pattern, but I knitted these bottom up, like toe up, and 2 at a time. Who is she? And I actually have definitely enough yarn to make myself an exact replica of this, so maybe next Christmas I'll have. Oh god, oh god. My just made it out alive. but I think she lost it. Maybe next Christmas I also have a pair of Christmassy socks. So I definitely need to wrap up this video here because I have almost 2 hours of footage. I need to edit this down. I hope I can. If you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. Let me know what you were working on during this video. Let me know if you have favorites from my makes, or let me know the favorite of your makes that you did this year, or just like interact with me. I love talking with you and like sharing patterns and yarn and all that. So I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for sticking around another year of knitting with me. And if you want to subscribe to see what I do next and like plans for next year. And actually I bought so much yarn, so I think that a yarn haul, I never made a yarn haul because I'm not that big yarn buyer, but I think that a yarn haul is much overdue. So if you're interested in that, stick around. You can subscribe to just be sure you won't miss anything. But anyways, I hope everything you're knitting on is a success, and I hope I'll see you very, very soon in the next video. Bye!